hello. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, you're doing good out there tonight. If you don't know, my name is Lee Black, and I am the host of Real Talk for Real Men. Welcome to our Wednesday edition of the show. So we made it to Hump Day. I missed you guys. I've been actually dealing with some health issues, but I'm on the mend, trying to get back to my good old self. I hope you're having a great week. First and foremost, we know that the flu is going around. We in the silly season called holiday season as it goes. So I hope you're having a great and fantastic time. Let's get this party started, and we're going to bring in my co-host first. This is Tasha from Memphis. What's going on, McMac?
What's going on, Black? How are you?
I am here, baby. Let me just say that. I'm above ground, so I'm doing okay. How are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm the same way. The same way. I'm here.
Absolutely. We're good to see you. And hopefully, as we get into this conversation, it will even mean something even more that we're taking the time to meet with each other. I see I got my brother in the house from Dallas, Texas. What's going on, Mr. Kenny?
What's going on, brother Black? Miss Tasha, it's been a minute since we've all had a party together. So
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
How are
yeah,
you doing,
man.
man?
Man, I'm enjoying almost 80-degree weather in Texas. It won't change, I'm sure, here in a few days.
It's
So
crazy, man. It's crazy. Warm here too. Not quite that warm here in Atlanta, but it's warm. So yeah, that's what I
mhm.
say. I call it the silly season. Uh Deborah Vills /49. How you doing? Welcome
Mhm.
to the show. If this is your first time, I actually post
Welcome.
into my comments the link. We welcome guests any and every time. You're more than welcome to come on live. If you just want to come through, you can find us on TFG on YouTube and Facebook. And you can go to TFG Ratchet, TFG Uncut. We are Ratchet and we are Uncut because we have some adult conversations. We keep it real as real can be. We only have one rule here at Real Talk since its inception. We can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. But one thing I can promise you as hosts, we never here to hurt you, to make fun. We value all your opinions. We have a good time. So you're more than welcome to pop on. But if you don't want to come on camera, we welcome your commentary as well. Be a part of the show. So I was going to give a couple of my other fam a chance to join in. But, sometimes we have to kick things off with just who we got. Yeah,
Right.
I've always said this, that sometimes people don't know this, but I come prepared to do the show by myself if I ever had to be honest, because sometimes people got shit to do, and that's just the plain truth, you know,
Right, right.
but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
hope some of the other fams join us, and they'll pop in and get into the conversation. And in case you don't know, we're on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays it is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We try to make these hours convenient for people who have families, jobs, and who got shit to do, plain and simple. So with that, and that's just keeping it real. And that's going to go a long way towards what we're going to be talking about tonight, just in case you were wondering. The topic for tonight is evaluating the health of your relationship. So
Mm,
at its core, real talk is about relationships from the very beginning, trying to improve conditions between men and women. But if at first glance you think I'm only talking about romantic relationships, you would be wrong. I am talking about relationships in general. Never more than now do I think we really need to see some improvements in interpersonal and social relationships. Because of the pandemic and the economy and technology, I personally think we have never been more disconnected than before. What do you guys think about that? About the state of relationships? What do you think?
It's an emergency state. If there's a pandemic of them, a lack of them, of good quality relationships, there's been a great breakdown just in general, just with people being able to communicate with other people in regular everyday settings of just going to like stores. So we need to get back to like the basics.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree
mhm.
more. What do you think about the state of relationships, Brother Ken?
I mean, both of you guys pretty much knocked it out the park. I think social media definitely has convoluted what is good, what is a good healthy relationship, because it's just easy, it's at the tip of your fingers, and you don't feel like you have to reach out and really just meet someone face to face. Obviously the pandemic kind of changed that, but even before the pandemic, people were so locked into social media, they really didn't want to go out and meet people anymore. I mean, so yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely. And you named a big culprit there, social media. Welcome to the show, sis. This is my sister Sherry from New York. How you doing, baby sis?
What's up, brother? Hi, Tasha, Kenny.
Hey, what's up,
Going on,
Sherry?
Sherry?
What up?
That's what's up. Perfect timing, sis. We're talking about the state of relationships and how we're going to evaluate the health of your relationship. What do you think about relationships as they stand right now, Sherry? And we're not only talking about romantic relationships. I see the fam is starting to really pop in. Here come the posters. There's Miss Poston right there herself, Miss Hannah. Welcome, sweetheart.
Hey y'all.
So the
Hey,
fam is
what's up,
definitely
Anna?
coming in.
Uh-huh.
So I'll repeat. We're talking about tonight evaluating the health of your relationship. And the question I was asking from the very beginning is, what do you guys think about the state of relationships as they are right now? And I'm not only talking about romantic relationships. And Sherry, I'm gonna come to you, but I want to say what's up to Terrence. That's Cuz in New York City.
What
Good
up?
to have you
What up,
watching, my brother.
Terrence?
We've even got the Atlanta real estate insider in the place. What's up, fam?
What up?
Again,
What's up,
that's
fam?
all a part of the TFG network. But Hannah and Sherry, what do you guys think about the state of relationships as they are right now as we head into 2023?
I'm confused.
Okay.
With a lot of what I see out here because you relationships is just not what they used to be. What they call relationships for me. These days.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sis. You said it in a concise
I
way.
agree.
What do you think of Miss Hannah?
I agree 100% with Sherry. It seems like I don't know and you can't really judge what you see online, but it's out there, so you can't help but look. But it seems like people are basically taking marriage for a joke nowadays. Even family relationships, they're just seem like they're trading on each other. You see friends becoming your worse than your enemies.
Yes,
It
sir.
just seems like a lot of relationships, whether it be in a relationship, family dynamic, or friendship, it seems like it's just withering away a lot lately, and I don't know why.
That's wow.
I agree with
Organically, you
that.
led right to where I'm going because I'm not going to pretend I have the answers. So I love that you said that because that's what Tasha and I talk about all the time. It's a crazy place right now, and I don't have the answers. We're going to examine 5 areas to put our own relationships under the microscope because guess what, folks? People sometimes never realize that friendships and relationships need to be tested.
Mm.
They need to be tested. We take for granted that that's my friend and that's my best friend and I'm in a relationship with this person, but how you feel and what they perceive it to be could be 2 totally different things. And so we're going to examine 5 areas. And before we get to those, I want to read something to you guys and I want to get your thoughts on this. It says social support is very important part of being a human being, and therefore when social relationships break down or are damaged, it can have a big impact on our mental health and well-being. And here's the key part. And it shouldn't come down to just one relationship. It's important to not focus on trying to get everything you need from one relationship. What do y'all think about that?
That's heavy. I think that I think that's true because now if you try to get everything from a relationship out of one person, now that makes you codependent. And I think that could be a very slippery slope for you to lose yourself and then to set yourself up for disappointment from that person, because again, like you just said, Black, they may be thinking of it from a totally different perspective and they don't look at it like you do. And that's just marriage, love relationships. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Friendships, all that. So yeah, Oh, that's a heavy one right there, for real.
I found so much power in that. Anybody else
Yeah.
want to speak on that? If y'all need me, I'll read that again, because that was, and I want you guys to understand something. I'm reading this for the very first time. And preparing my shows, Tasha knows how we do. When I come up with a topic and I find an article, in this case, I don't read the article. I want it to hit my ears the same time as hitting your ears. So my perception and reception of it is just like you. So that I got to read it. It says social support is very important part of being a human being. When social relationships break down or damage, it can have a big impact on your mental health and well-being. And here's the two phrases that really jumped out at me. It should not come down to just one relationship. It's important to not focus on trying to get everything you need from one relationship. It's far too often, especially in this new era, that person is my everything. How dangerous is that? Was for you to invest in one relationship, again, whether it's romantic or friendship, and they're your everything.
Like I just said real quick, you doing all the pouring, and you're not getting poured in too. And that's a
Ooh.
recipe for disaster, in my
Yes,
opinion.
it is. Yes, it is.
It's required for you to grow. I guess for me, it hit me more just because simply that's what it is. In order for you to be able to grow into who you're supposed to become, you get as much as you can from your parents. Then you have your social circle. You get as much as you can from them, and then you have like your romantic partner. It sounds simple, but like we already know, just being able to cultivate those relationships and to know what to take from them and what to just say, okay, lesson learned there, or I'll do better next time, and take it and go forward. It sounds simple, but it's not.
Bravo. Bravo. Hannah and Sherry, did you want to add something?
I'll just say I agree with everyone, and I feel like we need more than one relationship because sometimes you hear people say, "Oh, once you're in a relationship, they forget they have friends," which is I
Mhm.
feel like one of the worst mistakes to make because you need a friend to talk to even when you're inside that relationship. So I feel
Absolutely.
like that's a mistake that people make.
Absolutely. And as we examine, I'm getting ready to go to the very first thing that we're going to put under the microscope. You'll find that that's how a lot of relationships, you look at people and maybe they can't even see it because they're deep in it. I know couples right now who are married but living single, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
They're married in name, but they're leading completely single lives because only one of them is really in a marriage and the other person is not.
Mm.
And as you said, Brother Kenny, that person has poured everything into that one person. So I want to bring up the first thing to put it under the microscope, in terms of looking at the health of our relationship right off the bat. Less stress. Less stress. I'm going to read something. Again, this is the first time I'm reading it right off the bat. It says being in a committed relationship, rather, is linked to less production of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. This suggests that paired people are less responsive to psychological stress and that the social and emotional support that comes with having a partner can be a great buffer against stress. The evidence even suggests that couples who cohabitate are happier than those that don't. Knowing someone loves and supports you when you're going through your day, even if the person is not physically present, is a mental health booster. What do you guys think about this? And
I think it depends on a couple because sometimes you could be with somebody and they will be your stress. So I don't necessarily think 100% agree because if that person you're with is the one stressing you out, but you don't know how to say it, then you're sometimes someone who doesn't have someone may be able to deal with it better. So I think it depends on the relationship.
I love that you said that because you have three single people on this panel. Only you and Sherry are married. And I love that because here's something Tasha and I talk about all the time. As a single person, she can speak to how women look at her. I'm only going to talk about how I'm perceived as a middle-aged elderly black man and I'm single. So the look sometimes is, why isn't he married? You know, what's wrong with him? He can't be happy, because he's by himself. Tasha, do you get that as a single woman?
Oh my gosh. Yes, the shaming that's associated with it, that for some reason people assume that because you're by yourself that you're lonely, and to immediately take pity on you, or on the far other side automatically flag you as something is wrong with you. Heaven forbid you just choose. In this sense, for me, when I heard less stress, I was thinking about it in terms of beginning relationships with people and knowing now, especially now, how I protect my peace. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. If like if we're beginning a relationship, even as a friendship, and you can't keep your word, you start doing certain things, less stress for me. I'm just not even going to finish going down the road with you. It's just, we'll just say nice try. Maybe next time.
You have no idea how powerful what you said is to me. But I don't. Kenny and Sherry, what do you think about putting under the microscope your relationships and the value of less stress?
Well, for me, being that I have been married for so long, people I get from people that they think I have it all figured out.
Yep.
And I really
Yep.
don't. I have been through my own stresses in the relationship and out. So I don't like that part of it, because they think because you've been married so long, or you ain't got no stress, or you ain't going through anything. But that's not true.
I love that. There is a perception that, oh, they've been married for 20 years, 30 years. They settled in, not realizing something you said, Tasha. You never stop growing as a person. In fact, who you were at the beginning of a relationship, 10 years in, you might not be that same person. you know. And
Right,
so
right.
if
Yep.
the expectation is still that you're the same person, it can create that friction that can bring a lot of stress. Brother Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, everybody said a whole lot of great things. I think it's funny that I saw a post in a group asking the three things that you want in your partner, the three things that you most. And it's funny. I said I just want her to be my peace, and that goes right into this
Ooh.
less stress, because I believe if you find the right partner that brings peace to you, even through your storms, that definitely is a stress reliever. That's less stress you have to deal with, because oh, even though I may be going through, I definitely know my man or my woman over here, they're gonna bring me peace, and they're gonna be that rock that I need when I need it. So but yeah, but like Hannah said though, you just have to make sure you with the right one, or even not even a romantic relationship, even if just a regular friendship. I'll be honest with you, it's a lot quick to kick them to the curb if they bringing you too much stress. Like, nah, player, I can't rock with you, so I'm gonna stiff arm you. I'm gonna leave you over there.
My brother, you went where I was going with this. I'm not in a relationship, and there's not even one on the horizon. I've come to that realization, to be honest with you. I
I
sit
have
here and
to.
wish I could tell you that, I knew somebody that, at best, I'm gonna fuck a few times here and there. I mean, I get horny and shit, so I have to drag somebody in here and there, but I don't have anything
Don't say it
solid.
like that.
I
We keeping it real.
Yo.
But not drag them in.
Hell, I might as well. It said that way because I got to coerce that bitch in here, and even then, I just need what I need from it so I can kind of bust a nut and get, because that is, sometimes I'm stressed enough that I need to release, but it's not nothing to it. So there's no relationship on the horizon for me at this stage. So for me, this is important when you talk about friendships. My viewers probably know, and some may not know, I just recently lost a friend, and I handled it so much different now. In what you said, Brother Kenny and Tasha, is because, you know what, the younger me probably would have wanted to know why and what happened and can we fix it. Let me tell you something. When you get to a certain station in life, and I said this the moment the situation happened, I said, I hope it doesn't end the friendship, but if it does, I said it wasn't built on a solid foundation anyway. I promise you guys, I lost no sleep because my sanity is so important to me at this stage of my life. I have health issues I'm dealing with. I have a demanding job where I deal with fucking knuckleheads all day. When I do go out, I have to navigate the fuckery and foolishness that's outside of the sanctuary of my walls. So the last thing I'm going to do is lose sleep over something that wasn't built on solid foundations anyway, because this was the very first test of the friendship and it withered. So just like the Three Little Pigs, that house was built out of straw or some shit, because the moment the wolf came huffing and puffing, her nasty no good ass was out the picture. And in that case, God bless you and good luck. You know what I'm saying? Lamb Levity says, drag them in. Lamb, you single now, Lamb. You know what I'm talking about when you say drag these bitches in. You got to lie, cheat, and steal to get them to give you a little pussy after you halfway see if these bitches gonna give it to you. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. Let's talk about number 2. Better healing. What role does better healing play in evaluating the health of your relationship? Whether it's having someone there to remind you to take your medicine. Mind you, this is the first time me reading this. This is like it's talking to me. This is crazy. Whether it's having someone there to remind you to take your medicine or having a partner to help take your mind off the pain. Research suggests long-term partners who have undergone heart surgery are 3 times more likely to survive the first 3 months after surgery than single patients. Long-term partners also reported feeling more confident about their ability to handle post-surgery pain and were less worried about the surgery in general. A little emotional support can go a long way towards helping a person recover from a procedural illness. Now, obviously, I'm not going to just apply this to an operation, but that very first part spoke to me because I'm gonna stop right there. Tasha, what's the conversation we had just last night about where we are and what we're focusing on? Please share that with the group.
Well, we both, we both have said that going into the new year, one of the main things that we're going to focus on is going to be our overall physical health, where we, yes, we give in to, I will say, like, we treat ourselves every day. Every day is a treat, is a treat, with material things, different things like that. But taking care of me so that way that I feel better about myself. I mean, the conversation obviously like went like way deeper,
Mhm.
but it's so important for like the better healing. It's just a nice reminder to know that number one, you're not you're not by yourself. And I think that how people get caught up in it is that they don't have even one person that they feel like that they could go to let them know that what they're feeling is normal,
Yes.
or that there's nothing wrong with them, even if it's something you've never experienced yourself, that there's nothing wrong with you. Here's
Yes.
what we can do to make it, to help you.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
so true. God,
Go ahead,
dog.
my brother, or Hannah, either one. Go
Uh,
ahead, sister. Go ahead, sister
go,
Hannah. We're gonna
yeah,
let
go
ladies
ahead,
go
Hannah.
first.
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I like that, and I didn't really realize that sometimes it is better to have someone when you are going through different things, because you never know if your health can take in a different term. And I'll use myself an example. Like 3 years into our relationship, I had to get major surgery. I didn't know I had to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a choice, and I couldn't. After that, I couldn't really heal, and I had kids.
Right.
So you never know what can happen just to have someone there, even if it's not just a relationship like a friend, and someone you can actually call to just also check you. Because sometimes, we're not the perfect person up on our own health, but we're perfect up on other people's health. So sometimes we do need to be checked. So I feel like that's in that particular moment, you never know. You do need someone by your side. Hear people say, I don't need nobody, I got myself. Yeah, but you can't always have yourself. You need to be able to have someone who has you as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely brilliant, brother Kenny.
Man, Tasha and Hannah, but definitely Tasha, you definitely hit home. You know, the personal, the physical health for me, I'm just speaking from my experience. I have been blessed to be in pretty good health. I be honest with you. I have, I ain't the greatest of eaters, but health wise, I'm 53. Haven't had any major surgeries. Don't have high blood pressure, any of that stuff. But that could change in the blink of an eye. So you just never know. So it does. It would help to have someone that if something health wise happened to me, to I can call or I can depend on. So that is kind of for me. It's kind of makes me feel a little down sometimes because I feel like maybe I don't have that person. And I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. I was like, all the emotional ups and downs I've been going through the last year or two. I was like, man, I just ain't really. It would be a lot easier for me to get through if I had that rock, that one person that I know they gonna listen or they gonna call and check on me. And so when you don't have that, it does make you feel alone. And then sometimes your health will suffer from that because sometimes that causes depression and other things that lead you to drinking heavily and all that kind of stuff. So that could jeopardize your health too. So,
brother, this when I say this, my brother, I don't know. We kind of linked in so many different ways. Do you know? I feel like a good part of the reason I'm in the health condition I am right now is because I live in a city where I don't have any actual friends.
yeah,
I've had associates,
right.
and the person I thought was my friend clearly wasn't. And it was a rude awakening finding that out. So that you say that, Kenny, let me tell you what's scary is what I'm going through right now. I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I got a heating pad attached to the back of my neck. I was off of work for a few days dealing with the pain because I couldn't even hold my head up. That woman sitting up there in the middle, I talked to her about everything, and these two in the bottom, Sherry and Tasha. What was that? Friday, I ended up going to the hospital. I was furious, because I was in so much pain. She's laughing, but though for them, it's the day before, Tasha was like, "Black, get your ass up," and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why aren't you going to the doctor? Blah blah.
Right.
Sherry, brother, you need to be going now. You need to be going to the doctor tonight. Blah blah blah. And I love them. I'm bringing that up because it's a beautiful thing to have somebody give a fuck about you, because when you live alone, it's very scary knowing that if you go down, what would happen?
Yeah.
I genuinely think about that. If I was in a situation where I couldn't get up or fell out, how the fuck would they get to me in here? Because I live alone. And it's a scary feeling to have to navigate through so many different things, when you don't have somebody there. And the last part I'm going to cover, and I'm going to bring Brother Kennard in. Welcome to the show, my brother. Long time no see. But I got to say this too, because I got three men here. When you talking about physical health, we as men, we keep way too much shit to ourselves, because we don't want to talk about some real shit that we going through. Bird, I forgot. I'm looking at my brother Bird here as well. So a lot of times when I'm talking to my nephew, for example, a subject about health will come up accidentally. Because you know what, as men, we get in our late 40s and 50s or whatever, and we don't talk about sometimes that sexual things we going through, because I don't want nobody. I want him looking at me the wrong way, But it's some real shit that we be going through that maybe is impacting even our sex life, because we got a bad back, or or even depression that you said, Brother Kenny, even depression. And so we keep all this shit bottled in. So I know for Tasha and Sherry, they probably get tired of me saying this to them sometime, like, well, I'll be talking about something, I'll be like, look, I'm getting ready to tell you, but fuck it, y'all all I got, so I'm just gonna tell you anyway. And I'll tell them some shit that I know they don't want to hear a lot of times, I have a small garbage can.
No,
and
no,
fuck that.
no,
Tasha, leave it alone.
No.
I think I know where Brother Black is going with that.
I'm not ashamed, but I try to keep it real, Tasha. So let me say this before you stop me. I'm not what I was about to tell. I'm not saying it because, oh my God, it's funny. I'm saying it because somebody else is going through this and they ain't telling nobody, but they experience the same shit. So
That's true.
Tasha, you still want to stop me?
Still want to stop you. Black, no.
Okay.
Offline only.
Brother
Maybe in
Kennard.
another show. Offline only.
Brother
No.
Kennard, welcome to the show, my brother. We're talking about the evaluating the health of your relationship, not just romantically, but socially. Whatever. What do you have to say, or do you want to comment on the fact about talking about better healing and how that's under the microscope?
I think he's froze.
Oh,
You froze,
man.
fam. Yeah,
Oh
he's
man.
froze.
So
Yeah,
he,
he's
he
froze.
so hopefully he'll come in as we get to the next one. But y'all don't know. Tasha stopped me from telling y'all some real shit here.
Yeah, I bet she did.
Not
Hopefully
tonight.
come on, because let's talk about healthier behaviors. Healthier behaviors. And again, I'm reading this for the very first time. And be ready, Brother Bert. I'm coming to you first, my brother. Welcome to the show. I'm coming to you first, brother. Healthy relationships set the perfect tone for an overall healthy lifestyle. If your spouse, friends, or other loved ones encourage eating a healthy diet, exercising, not smoking, etc., you're likely to follow in their footsteps. It's a lot easier to take on healthy behaviors when you surround yourself with people who are doing the same. What do you think about that, my brother?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly with it. I just believe that if you have both people that are in it together, it's a motivating factor, but also it's also for your longevity. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's a major part in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? That everybody's pretty much staying on the same course, staying on the same line, staying healthy, keeping themselves, keeping themselves in check. And it's good to see. And again, it's still a motivating factor because when you see the person that you love, they're out there and eating correctly as much as they can, working out as well as you working out as well. It's a great combination. It's great for the relationship. And also, if you do have kids or anything like that, it's setting a trend and showing the example to
I
them
love that.
of a lifestyle
I love that.
that could be lived.
I love that. I love that because how far too often, you know what? When I'm out somewhere in public and I see some slovenly, sloppy, pudgy ass, ugly ass little kids, I don't have to look far. I turn my head sometime and there's the sloppy barefoot mother dragging her fucking heels across the floor. I look at her card and all she got is orange drink, whole lot of fast food and shit. And I'm saying she fucking them kids up because of her own habits and and
Yeah.
hobbies and stuff. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
You
You don't
telling
have
the
to look that far.
truth. You telling the truth. You right. You right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you don't like kids, that's all.
Yeah.
The parents could have been fixing no telling. You still going after them kids.
Y'all don't understand. I'm scarred in some ways because
Yeah.
I expect a certain thing out of kids, and nothing is worse than to me. I'm old fashioned. Nothing's worse to me to see a bumbling ass child that don't have no manners in home training.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That just it turns me off. But I digress. But in terms of healthy behaviors, great point, because I'll even say this personally. Growing up in Eloise Young's household, me and Sherry was talking about this the other night. We grew up in New York, but as Southerners, we weren't really true New Yorkers. My family's from Meridian, Mississippi, and it was weird because our friends was eating like stuffing out of a box, and they made Jiffy make cornbread or whatever the fuck. We grew up eating Southern food. Every day, my mother, we cooked. If she was cooking corn, it was corn that you had to shuck. If she was cooking string beans, you had to sit on the middle of the floor and shuck a shitload of string beans because there was 11 of us motherfuckers to feed. So that's a few hours where you snapping like a motherfucker. To this day, I don't eat purple hull peas because I hated getting them motherfuckers all over the place, you know. Don't even get me started on trying to chop off some big nasty ass rutabagas, you know. But with all of that, Sherry and I were we were healthy. We were thin and fit. We walked because of the habits, you know, even as kids, and we were latchkey kids on our own, but we didn't come in from school eating candy, cakes, and shit like that. We made, guess what? A bologna sandwich, and we drank a shitload of milk. It was a treat for us if we got sodas. We didn't know shit about McDonald's, we knew the songs. Me and Sherry would dance around and shit, singing the Burger King song or whatever. But we ate so much healthier. And here we are now as grown adults, and you lose the sense of those habits, and it takes on bad eating habits and taken away from your overall good health, you know. So anybody else want to pop in? I see I got some kind of troll or something. I don't know who the hell this is. 669 triple X. My hot photo in here. Well, show your funky ass then. You know, if you're gonna come on about triple X.
Yeah.
So anyway, who want to comment on this part about healthier behaviors and the value of that in your overall health?
It goes back to what we said from the very beginning about sharing that stress, and what Bert touched on as far as having like that accountability person who's willing to go through it with you, who's gonna be there to support you through it, who's not gonna make you, you know, like feel any type of way because of you know, because you're taking those steps for yourself.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely important, but it's so hard though. It sounds so easy. It is so hard. If for people who've never struggled, never have had to struggle like with their weight, like their entire life, it's so hard. You know, and I know it's about discipline, and I know it's about, you know, like staying true and setting up a routine, but let me tell you, it is so easy and so quick to fall out of routine, especially if you don't have someone there just to keep nudging you along the way. And I know, you know, that yes, we're adults and we're supposed to be accountable for ourselves, but damn, you know, like sometimes I'm like a, you know, like a 2-year-old at the store with adult money. I just want to buy all the junk food. So
I'm so glad you said that. I'm coming to you next, Kennard, but I'm going to put somebody under the bus. I'm sorry I got to do it. I'm not going to use names, but one of my boys, and it's not bad. I'm not throwing on the bus in a bad way, but I'm having to bring up a conversation we had, and he asked me several times, you know, damn, my wife says she want to lose weight, but if I look over there and she got a plate full up high as mine, you know, I look up, she eating out, and I had a heart to heart with him that because you've never dealt with weight issues, you have no idea how tough that is, you know, when you're dealing with weight issues. And then here's where I killed him, you know, because he challenged me. Well, you know, I've heard people say, well, push yourself away from the table. Just don't eat it and just don't buy it. That's so much easier said than done, you know. So my thing was, okay, so if we're gonna go there, then why you oof.
no, don't just
let it go.
No.
Tasha keeps stopping me.
that'll
Kennard, come on in here, my brother. Is he frozen again?
No, he there.
Okay.
All right. So when it comes to because I have a kind of a bad reception, but I kind of came in at the right time. You know, when you talk about, you know, weight loss and lifestyle change and things like that, those things don't happen until the answers are there, but you got to have the reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing in your life will change until your reason is big enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I want to lose weight, but why do I lose weight so I fit in this dress for a wedding? or so I can do this for a certain event? Or do I want to lose weight, or I really want to make this lifestyle change for long-term reasons? So in relationship and things like
I
that,
think we're losing a lot of
things
it.
don't happen in a positive way. Huh?
No, keep going. It's
Things
your
don't
feed is
happen in
going
a
in and out.
long-term way. Things don't happen in a long-term way in a big.
Oh,
We're losing
yeah,
you,
we're losing.
Kennard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're losing you, Kennard. Your connection is
Until
off.
your reason is enough.
Uh,
Can you
I
hear me
think I know
now?
going.
It's going in and out, so we're missing all the points you're making, man.
Yeah, I think I know where he's going with it, but
Oh man,
I like to hear from him.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
We can't
Can you
hear
hear me
you.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
But it's choppy. It's intermittent.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Okay,
going
so
in and
breaking
out.
up.
until your reason. All right, what about now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, try it. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what. Okay, until the reason is big enough, the result won't be there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be there. You trying to lose weight
I
for a
got you.
dress, or you trying to lose weight for an event, it's gonna be big enough. Even with a relationship, what's your reason for a relationship? Do
I
you
got
want a
you.
relationship because you're just freaking lonely, or you really want to have a really compatible situation with somebody to where y'all can build something together?
Right.
And until
right.
that's the case, then you waste your time and theirs.
Great
The
point.
reason, the reasons in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me cut you off for a second. Those are great points, and I don't disagree
Okay.
with anything. I don't disagree with anything they said. But in terms of how you evaluate it in relationships, what's important to remember in that sense, though, is having somebody who is supportive of you, who give a damn enough about your health to help you want to, in your case, make those some valid, real reasons why you make those changes. So, like, even though I'm not married, because I don't have a wife to stand over me and say, well, Lee don't eat this, and she should be doing that. But I'm gonna use two people on this panel that the relationship in this instance makes a difference. Brother Bert has told me, man, I'm come to Atlanta and help you, develop some good habits. He live in North Carolina, but he give a damn enough about my health to say that, you know what, man, I see you struggling. So guess what? When I come visit Atlanta, man, I'm going to put you on to maybe some good habits. Hell, I'll go to the gym with you. That's what I'm talking about. Tasha tells me all the time, you better be glad I'm not there, because I clean your damn refrigerator out. I go to there throwing away all kinds of shit. And we joke about that sometimes, even when I'm shopping and I'm in the store and I'll be about to buy something. She say, Black. Now, she ain't physically here, but she said, Black, you don't need that. Last point, and I'm gonna move on to number 4. I spent $30 a couple of weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, to buy me a coconut pineapple cake. As I'm driving out to get this cake, Tasha said, Black, you only need to get half of it. You don't need a whole cake. Number 1, you're a diabetic. Number 2, you fat as fuck, and you don't need the sugar.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
She thought it though.
Did not say that.
It was inferred. It was inferred in the message.
I did not.
But to her wisdom, it was the most expensive cake that I've ever bought. Yeah, Candace, from the Kansas, welcome, sweetheart. Yeah, his connection is bad. It was the most expensive cake I bought. That's a whole nother story for another day. But I spent $30 on a cake. Here's what you need to know about this. I spent $30 on a cake that really only cost $15, and it was in a beautiful box that I sat on the counter during the Thanksgiving. I was off for 4 days straight. So 2 days into Thanksgiving, I go to get me a nice piece of cake and shit, and it was already molding.
Wow. Well,
So I had to scrape the best part of the cake off there
You know what?
just to try to get some worth out of this. So I got maybe 2 slices of this cake, you know. So it didn't do me no, but you know what? That was the God saying that your fat ass didn't need that cake anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but brother, let me ask you, you gonna take my fat ass and go take me to some cake place getting some cake?
Yes, so that was different. They were here visiting in Atlanta, and when I was visiting them, Cherish, her daughter, my niece, my baby, she had introduced us to this place where they had the best what was it, red velvet cake. So I just wanted to show them that Atlanta had some place. Now, tell you what you ain't telling Sherry is the place I took them to. I had not been there in probably a year. So believe it or not, I gave up a lot of things, you know, so back to trying to be healthy, and I bounce a lot of this off of Tasha is the point. And I use that friendship because I know somebody give a damn about me, and I want to end it on that part in terms of it don't have to be married, you know.
Right.
They say statistically, if you single, you don't live as long because you don't have somebody there. So guess what? For us single folk, we have to navigate that and keep each other in check. And that's where those relationships become
Yeah,
important.
exactly. I mean, you got to have you definitely have to have an accountability partner to some degree, because in life we can't live this life alone. I mean, even in the
Absolutely.
Bible it says
Right.
when 2 or 3 or more people agree, I'm there. You know, you have to have, because I even think about my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, the alumni chapter. For a long time, I thought that was just the most obsolete situation, period. But what it turned out to be, it's an accountability group. As an adult, just as we were held accountable as teenagers and kids, as adults, we need that type of accountability partnership.
I love it. I love it. And if you're getting that from a social
In my
group like
opinion.
that, fantastic. In the interest of time, let me move on to number 4 because I want to get to number 5 as well. Number 4 is a greater sense of purpose, and how we're going to look at how this plays a part in
Oh
evaluating
my
the health of our
God.
relationships. Many people strive to feel like they're doing something good for someone else and improving the world in some way. Being in a loving relationship, no matter what kind, can give a person a sense of well being and purpose. In fact, it's possible that having a sense of purpose can actually add years to your life. You guys believe that or no?
I don't think you need a relationship for that.
You
I
don't.
believe.
I agree. You don't. I agree. You don't. But here's where I'm gonna challenge that a little bit, Hannah. For years, I prided myself on being this solitude guy that I go to the movies by myself. I go to restaurants by. So you can do it. So we're not saying it's not possible. You know, you can do it. You know, I was very successful walking alone, but I can sit here and tell you now at 50, almost 55 years, old, it's so much better when you have somebody there. I ride around Atlanta sometimes dealing with feelings of ambiguity and because I said it before, I don't have any friends here. For the first time in my life, I live in the best place that I've ever lived in my life. I got a badass apartment. That's real talk. We're gonna keep it funky here. It should be pussy laid out right there. Legs and pussy should be laid out on this floor right now. That's how bad this motherfucking place is of mine. Getting pussy, which is I say that because that's the only I love drinking and pussy. I have a bar and I should have pussy strolled out through there. I make a good living, but moving here to Atlanta was great in terms of financial success and professional success. Here's where I lost Tasha. I mean, not Tasha, Hannah. I'm here by myself. So what good is having all these things if there is nobody here to enjoy it with you? Because me and Tasha, We had the best time sitting up with the big bottle of fucking Smirnoff gin, staying up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, looking at videos of old school R&B. So that's what I'm talking. You can do it alone, but man, it's so much better when you can share it with somebody who give a fuck about you and friends. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I didn't mean as though you can't do it with the partner.
Well, I'll
It's
tell you
all-
like this, because I gotta go real quick. One of the things about
Okay.
what you were talking about, and it was like beating on my heart. It was beating on my heart for real, because I think about like getting married, for example. I think about my income when I got married, and I think about my income
Okay.
now after having kids and after all those other things. And I think about the song where it's like, if not for you, life wouldn't be worth living. You know what I'm saying? Humans need that companionship, even though they may say they don't want it, or maybe they just at the time of their life, don't have it. But I will say my income has almost doubled, maybe even tripled since
Okay.
having a. I can just say the interconnectivity of having someone in my life, in a wife, in children, having a real deal reason for living. It is different. If you think about
I
me,
love it. I
for
love it.
example,
So
think
actually,
about
then
all
you
guys that I
agree.
went to college with.
So actually, I've got to cut you off there. So actually, you agree with what we were saying. I want to make sure Hannah doesn't lose her point. Go ahead, sweetheart.
No,
I hear something in the
I was
background.
saying that you could always is not good with someone else. I was saying I feel like you have to get a good purpose in yourself first before you get someone else. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes if you get with someone and you don't feel as though you're nothing by yourself, then it probably won't work. So that's the
Absolutely.
point I was making.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to behold yourself. Absolutely. Sherry, Tasha, Kenny, you guys want to comment on the greater sense of purpose?
I think for this one, I do think that for a lot of people, they think that they have to have more than what that they do in order to enter into a relationship. And I do think that maybe it, of course it's just, based on person to person or whatever. But for some people, if they don't have anyone else, then they're not going to be here. They're going to cease to be here because they don't have a purpose. So even for somebody who might be going through it or thinks that they don't have anyone, or maybe that they think that because that they're not where they want to be or where they think that they should be, if if having someone is going to keep you here, then you need to find somebody that's going to keep you here.
Which leads right into perfect timing. The final one we got to number 5, which is a longer life. Tasha, you literally sealed that point because it says sometimes having at least one good friend or trusted coworker, therapist, or counselor to help walk you through issues like social anxiety or depression can end up being more than worthwhile. It might be difficult, but it also might be exactly what you need. Even just having one or two strong, healthy relationships in your life can have a positive effect on your overall health. And Tasha, what did you say that just last night you think you was going to look into?
I said that was between me and you.
I'll leave. Okay.
Just
Just
telling
Okay.
your business.
tell
All right. All
everything.
right.
Just.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But to this point, we just so you know, we were talking about our overall health in general and how we're focusing on that. And again, I love the fact that a good friend, one or two, can make the world of difference. Especially, I want to highlight around this time of the year,
Yes,
the
for real.
the holidays.
Holidays. Yes.
We are taught that everybody's happy during the
Right.
holidays, and it's just not true.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And I'll share this with you guys. The holidays I get very melancholy because on one hand, I hearken back to the way it used to be, and I'll say for me, I think about when I see Christmas, I think about the time when both my brothers were alive, and growing up in that household, and the cooking and the family, and any gifts you got, that was just the cherry on the top. What holidays meant for us at that time was, man, families came together. And I'm not talking about just your immediate family. During this time, you got visits from uncles and aunts and cousins that you hadn't seen all year. You know what I'm saying? And you came home shit from school, because it wasn't like these little fuckers today. They out for every little thing. We pretty much had to go to school right up until the end. So we would go to school and come home, and as soon as you hit the door, my God, you smelling sweet potato pies, and all kinds of. My mother had this big ass bowl with nuts and fruits in it. You know, me and Sherry was like two little fucking demons around there. You know, crawling around, smoking on used cigarettes and drinking drinks, and all kinds of shit. You know,
the good old days.
The good old days. You know, we didn't know no better. But it was a happy time. And what this has become now, it's such a mental stress on people, even the hours we work as Americans. Think about what we do, you guys. You get off on Friday. You really can't count Friday as the weekend. You worked.
Yeah.
And by the time you get off, the clock is ticking.
Yep.
So when you wake up Saturday, you got shit to do. That's the time when if you got to wash your car or clean your house or do your laundry, run the kids on errands, you know, do all of those things. And by Sunday, hell, don't try to give no time to God, because that's going to take up half the day. You know, returning phone calls. By the time you settle in when you settle in on Sunday, it's time to hit that switch, because Monday is a coming. And this is week after week after week after week, and that grind. Not to mention that families aren't as close as they used to be. You know,
right.
We all are living in a virtual world. You know, I wish I could have my brothers watching the game with me, so I get to see y'all virtually. But man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah.
And the point I was making about where I am at this stage in life, I almost say it's unfair. I'll say this on the camera. If it was a choice, if I had a choice to make, if I could rub a magic lamp, and the money I make now, and the financial stability I have now, I would trade that in a heartbeat, to go back to a time when me and Tasha was hanging out. Sometimes you don't know how good you got it till you're out of it. But I was much happier then than I am now. I am satisfied, you know, and I have to try to make myself happy. But if y'all want to know the God honest truth, I'll say this: I'm not happy. I haven't been happy in a long, long time. And that's my God honest truth. And that's coming from somebody who usually presents pretty upbeat. But I'm really not happy. I've been happy. I haven't been happy for a long, long time.
We brothers, man. We brothers, because I can totally relate to that. You know, the smile you see in front of this camera a lot of times, man. I'm a pretty good actor. I can say that. So yeah, I can definitely relate what you're saying, Brother Black. And then the holidays does make it a little bit more melancholy for a lot of people. And then it goes back full circle. I think a lot of times you need to stay on social media a little bit more during this time, because that'll make you even feel some type of way when you're seeing other people posting, you know, family gatherings and Christmas trees and just, you know, all that. And you don't want to be Debbie Downer. Matter of fact, I told a buddy of mine a couple of weeks ago, they kept wanting me to come hang out with them. I just was like, I'm not in that place. I said, look, man, I'm gonna be going honest with you. I said, I don't want to come around because I'm feeling some type of way. So I don't want to be Debbie Downer. So I'll pass.
Tasha, can we relate to that?
Feel like that.
Can we relate to that?
Definitely relate to that. And it's not it's hard to explain to people who aren't in that, because sometimes the reaction that you get is kind of like, oh, well, just cheer up, or just shake it off, or just come on.
Exactly.
And it's not that easy.
It isn't. So let me pay homage to my married couple. why you think I say to you guys all the time, y'all my favorite couple. Y'all my favorite couple. This is not platitudes that I'm spitting here. I met you guys through this show, and y'all have no idea how powerful it has been to watch you guys go from dating to marriage and to make it work, because I had given up. I'm going to keep it real with you. I had given up. You know, what was dancing in my head, I think about the movie The Bronx Tale. Well, Sonny said, you only get three good ones in your life, you know. And I sat there and said, well, goddamn, I got in the line 6 times. I had 18 good bitches around. I know ain't nothing coming for me. You know. Y'all think it's funny, but I swear on Alan Paul's soul, I can sit around and think about good women that I might have could have been with, but I wasn't a good. I won't say I wasn't a good man, but I wasn't in that place to be a good man at that point. I was running through them. So, like now, I sit and I wonder, like, what could have been. So when I see you guys, how y'all give me true hope that there is still people out there who believe in the sanctity of marriage and doing it the right way, and they just don't want to shack up and that's my little whatever the fuck they call each other these days.
Yeah,
I love the fact that y'all are proud to say that's my wife and that's my husband, and y'all are blending. Y'all don't even know the vision of that. How much I absorb that and know that, well, damn, you know, maybe I can find somebody still. So I haven't given up, but I had given up. I watched you guys closely enough, and I had given up. And to be honest with you, so I thank you. You know,
yeah, for sure.
I thank you
Can I
guys.
say something?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on a longer life thing, because I didn't really realize that. I'll be honest. These past 5 months, we've been going through pure hell, like hell. And I will be honest, I don't think that I could have gotten through this by myself. And I don't think Bert could have got through this by himself. And I didn't realize sometimes you really need someone, because I do have family, but pretty much it's me. Pretty much. So
I understand.
To look back and think, like, I don't know if I was by myself, if I could have got through this half a year.
Wow.
To be honest.
I get it.
And I've never felt like that before until this year. So, like, this was the year of trial and woo.
But y'all still standing.
You still standing.
Still standing.
Yeah. And you know, people say, "Oh, things make you stronger." You don't be wanting to hear that shit all the time.
You really don't. You're right about that.
People who try to give you advice, like, okay, just let us do this.
Right.
Let us get through things away. Mind your business, and we'll find a way. But sometimes you don't realize that sometimes you look back and, like, maybe I do need somebody to talk to. Maybe I do need something to add longer. Because when we hold that in, then we're taking away from years of our own life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're so right.
And I know for Sherry and Tasha, these are 2 people that I talk to pretty much every single day. If I don't talk to them, we text every single day. And so to this list, these 5 lists, it gives me that sense of purpose. You know, I look forward to hearing from them. And Sherry and me, Sherry and Cherish, we have a little routine where we pretty much talk every night. So that is what I take to bed with me at night to rest, that somebody care about me enough to check on me every day. You know, even in my fucked up, Tasha said, "Black, you're being a dick."
And I'm sure she said it just like that, too.
Oh, she said it just like that. She said it just like that. Black, you being kind of a dick is what she said. You know, and I knew it was coming from a place of love. And what my response was, I know.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I called back that night and apologized to Sherry because I was being an asshole, you know. But I'm an asshole that they love, and I love them because I know I've talked Sherry off many a ledge. You know, I've seen Tasha through some of the tough times in her life, and she's seen me at my worst. So that's where I want to end the show with that. Relationships, going back to the beginning, we don't have the answers, but I hope that by looking at least some of the 5 things we looked at, I hope that we can look at it and say that we need to look at those areas. You know what? It's like a grocery store. Buy what you need, leave the rest of the shit on the shelf.
Yep.
So even if you can plug one thing out of that list to help improve relationships, not just romantically, but even with family members, even with friends, I think that it'll make overall us all better people, and we can be doing our little part to contribute to make somebody else better, you know. So that's my hope.
Well, brother, I'm up here in New York with most of our family, a lot of our family, should I say. And as far as relationship, I'm here, I'm blessed because, you know, our mother is still living at 87. But in some funny little way, you'll think my husband is her husband and all this kind of stuff. And I be going through it in the past year, you know, brothers and sisters, we the closest than we ever been. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just not easy. So I know exactly what y'all talk about.
But and so with that said, but I will say this: I'm proud of my own family, despite our bickering, our differences. We've come together with a common cause to make my mom's life easier, and we still argue, we still disagree, you know. But we're in the best place as a family, my family, that I can remember as an adult. So I'm very proud of my brothers and sisters, and even the fact that I don't live in New York, I get to sleep a lot more peacefully knowing that Sherry, Jean, and Juanita giving my mother care that she couldn't get in a home. So I am grateful for that. So I am truly grateful for that. And one thing, as long as Eloise Young is fussing and cussing and eating, then I'm happy. My mom is doing all right.
All is well. I know
all is well. I'm gonna worry when she ain't fussing and cussing no more, and her appetite takes that nosedive. But right now, that nigga eating more than me, and that nigga cuss as hard as me. So she is doing pretty good. Anyway, we went over a little bit, so I know we could keep going, y'all. We went over a little bit. I want to thank you guys. I'm not even gonna make Kenny do the long spiel time. Just know this: if you viewing or if you come view this after the show, this is what we do. We are a family, and I'm not just talking about just the faces on this panel. The TFG family is large, folks out there. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Subscribe because good things are happening at TFG. You can find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, because what maybe you guys don't know is there's not a day that goes by, not one single day that behind the scenes, my phone is ding, 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 ding with TFG. They talk to one another, we back and forth, and every fucking day. This is every day. So this is not something that they playing at. They real with this shit about trying to bring content, quality content to present for this medium that is so filled with so much fuckery and foolishness. And so this is a family. This is if it wasn't for this,
yes,
Tasha wouldn't even be doing this. She don't fuck with social media like that. That's not her thing. She do it because we've been doing it for so long. I asked her to, and this has become part of our existence and our norm. And so y'all keep me going. When I get to Wednesday's edition of Real Talk and I cut this camera off, y'all are the reason why I can get up tomorrow. Because I've been, what did Kenny say? You have poured into me something so good that I'll be in there in the shower laughing my ass off at things that we've been talked about. and I can make it these next 2 days. You know, so I love y'all.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
Yeah.
You know, so
love you too, brother, for sure.
So
for real.
That's the thing right there. Brother Lamb says, I'm sorry for all the notifications. Don't you stop. Don't you ever stop. Even though, Brother Lamb, I'm not answering, I'm looking the whole time at the conversation because that dude right there is on his fucking grind and he never,
He's on his
ever
grind.
stops.
He's
He
on it.
never, ever stops. And what makes him so remarkable is he wants his whole team to win. Where else they do that at? People you come in contact with
not many
usually are selfish and everything. Where they do that at? He genuinely want his whole team to win. He be on all of our asses. He don't. Thank God he'll get too hard on me because I'm not as dedicated to this as I should be, and I'm still part of the family. But he wants even me to win, and that's why I love him. I love you, Lamb. Don't stop them damn notifications, my brother. You keep them coming. You know, keep them coming. So, anyway. I'm hopefully health is improving. And getting back. So, we're gonna ride this thing into the new year, folks, and we're gonna keep on trying to improve relationships with one another, and we're gonna keep doing what we do. So with that said,
It's wealth, brother. Health is wealth. Remember that. Health is wealth. Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that goes for everybody. Whatever you're going through, put your health first. Money, none of that shit don't matter. If you don't feel good, that is a powerful statement when you say I just don't feel good, and it might not always be a physical pain. Get yourself healthy in whatever way you need to be, and my door is open for anybody. Just so you know, yes, I talk a lot, but I think Tasha and Sherry would verify. I also really know how to listen. I really know how to listen. Sometimes if you just need somebody to vent, I really know how to listen. So I'm here if you need me. That's my dude right there. Love you, Lamb.
Love you, brother.
That's my dude right there. So shit. God bless me that I'm in a city where I have no physical friends, but I gained brothers, and the value of that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. Brother and sisters. I ain't gonna leave my sisters out. Hannah, you the shit. You is the shit, little sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love you, baby. I love you. So
sure.
Everybody enjoy the rest of y'all week. Keep it cool always. Stay real and be true to each other. Y'all have a great night.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.